Hey everyone, today I'm going to be talking about the London BookTuber meetup that I went to, along with the book haul that it obviously led to. On the Saturday just gone, July the 25th, a group of almost entirely booktubers with one or two bloggers met up outside Waterloo Station in London, and quite simply we proceeded to walk around the various independent bookshops around that area of London and go in the shops, obviously talk about the books, buy many books, and just generally have a really nice time. We had lunch in a little park somewhere just off there. I'm not sure what park because I don't know London particularly well, but it was a really nice little park and it was just a nice talk we had. Around about 5 PM people started to slowly break away and obviously head off on trains and things home and such. Personally, I ended up with 6 of the others in a little restaurant having dinner, and then obviously before heading back on the train home myself. Overall, I really enjoyed Saturday. It was really fun and really nice to actually meet in person the various people that I see behind the camera and have a really interesting talk to them. Caitlin vlogged about the day using her phone, so I will link her channel, and if that video has been uploaded by this point then I'll link that video in the description below as well, as I always do. I bought 10 books in total, all of them from the same shop, and that shop is Scoob Books. This is a quite decently sized independent second-hand bookstore. In my part of the UK, in the particular city where I live, Birmingham, we have almost no independent bookstores really, and we have very few, if any, second-hand bookstores. So this was a really nice store for me and one that I found particularly interesting, hence me buying 10 books. 3 of the books were published quite some years ago and indeed do look second-hand. The other 7 are virtually new, and I'm impressed by overall the choice and indeed the quality of the books. The first book is Revolt in 2100 by Robert Heinlein. I've only recently read my first ever Heinlein, that being The Moon is a Harsh Mistress, and I really enjoyed it. So when I saw this I had to buy it, especially for the price. I know very little about it other than the fact that it's science fiction and it's set in the future obviously, and it's about a revolt in some sort of presumably dystopian type society or something. I don't really know. So it sounds quite good though. The second book is Beyond the Blue Event Horizon by Frederick Pohl. This is the sequel to Gateway, also by Pohl, which I do have on my shelf up there. I haven't read Gateway, so I won't be reading this yet either. But I have recently read a Pohl book, the first one, similar to Heinlein, and I quite enjoyed it, so I will be quite eager to read this, probably by the end of the year at least. The third book is The Best of A.E. van Vo. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's a German-born author who lived a large portion of his life in America. This was published in the 70s, I believe. And this is a collection of 3 of his shorter novels in one. And indeed the first novel is called The Weapon Shop, which is quite a well-known one and is a book that I've been wanting to read for quite a long time, for at least 2 or 3 years. So I'm very happy with this. The next book is Puttering About in a Small Land by Philip K. Dick. As you know, I am a big fan of Philip K. Dick books. This is the second in this particular cover design that I have, and I have about 15 books by him now. And this one does sound really quite interesting. I know very little about it. It's not science fiction by the sound of it. It sounds like it's literary fiction or something. I'm not really sure. It sounds quite a weird book, but to be honest, most Philip K. Dick books are slightly odd, which is why I love them. The next book is also by Philip K. Dick, and that is we can order it for you wholesale. This is a short story collection. It has about 20-25 stories in it. The total story, we can remember it for you wholesale, is what the Arnold Schwarzenegger film Total Recall is based on. And I've always been curious as to see what the book is exactly and how they made the film from that, because often when they make films into books, they, especially science fiction, they can totally alter the book and indeed the entire idea with only one or two vague elements remaining. So I'm quite eager to read this actually. The next book is Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. I already have this on ebook format for my Kindle, but I have several other Ray Bradburys in this same edition by Harper Voyager, so I had to buy this for £4. And I'm not going to talk about Fahrenheit 451 because it is extremely well known. There are lots of reviews and discussion videos about it on BookTube, so there's not really a lot of point, but it's extremely well known and it's a book that I really enjoy. The next book is also a Ray Bradbury, and it's one that I wanted to read last year but just didn't end up reading, and that is Something Wicked This Way Comes. This is a psychological horror, I believe, and one that sounds quite weird because it's set around Halloween in a small town, America, and weird things are happening in this town. That's about as much as I know. It sounds interesting, and considering it's Ray Bradbury and how much I like his writing style and his ideas, it should be pretty amazing. The 8th book is a book by an author that I already have quite a few books by, just there in fact, and that is Peter F. Hamilton and Manhattan in Reverse. This is a surprisingly small book, and it's actually a short story collection. There's about 10 or 15 stories in it. It's set in the Commonwealth universe, science fiction, and the Commonwealth universe is the same universe that quite a few of the others that I've got by him are set in. So they're just little stories about minor characters that might have vaguely been mentioned in those other books, and I've actually been meaning to read this for quite a while now. The 9th and penultimate book is Unquenchable Fire by Rachel Pollack. This is a science fiction masterworks edition, so it's going to fit in rather well on my shelf because I have lots of these, and I bought it mainly because I remember looking at it on Goodreads and I remember thinking it sounded quite good, and when I saw it for going for a good price I couldn't help myself, so I just ended up buying it. I know very little about it other than it just sounds quite good, and that's almost it really. And finally, the last book is one that I actually am not sure how to pronounce exactly, and that is Bete, B-E-T-E. It's got one of the things above the E, so yeah. If you know how to say it, please let me know. By Adam Roberts. I don't know very much about this book. It is science fiction and it is to do with animals, and they get AI chips implanted in their brains to make them more human. And if they're made more humans, then we won't want to eat and kill animals as much or something. It sounds really interesting, and it's one that I remember hearing about last year, and it just looks beautiful as well. It's quite a big book in actual sheer size, although it's fairly thin. So this is quite an interesting one, and one of the few books I've actually bought almost because of the attraction of the cover, and it really did draw my eye. I normally tend to look at author and genre rather than cover. So with that said, that's pretty much it for this video. If you are in London, then feel free to say hi and we can have a talk. If you have read any of these books or would like to read any of them, then also say something and we can have a talk, or just say something in general and we can talk about whatever, pretty much. All the links that I mentioned will be in the description box below, of course, along with all the social media links, as they always are. And finally, that is it for this video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you another day. Bye for now.